check this out. Due to some technical difficulties, basically my AMD graphics card needs an update. K Mega told me it's going to take about 45 minutes. It's a long update. We are going back to the bare bones Hangout, people. Jeez. Old school. Yo, but guys, we were talking about the whole YouTube, and their policy basically making content creators responsible for their comments. Mooch came in, basically said, who cares about comments anyway? I am one of those people that feel that, comments are a big part of it. And how the hell can they hold the content creator responsible if some kind of like, say, within this community, some fanboy or something like that doesn't like what I have to say about a particular game or piece of hardware, so they come in and they just start with derogatory comments and everything like that. But yo, Mega, what do you think about this, man?
I personally, we were just talking about this while you were taking care of your business. Boy, this thing seems like it's naked. Put some draws on, man.
I know, right?
We need something here. Anyway, 3 years in now, but anyway.
3 years is the first time this happened like this.
Yeah, like I said, when we first started, then we was having all those technical difficulties. But shit, for this, like, you know what? There ain't no reason for nobody to trip about it at all. But I was explaining to Mooch, it's like, look, man, I personally like the engagement of talking to people in the comments. Now, yeah, there are some fools out there. There's some idiots. They like to get out there and say just nasty, derogatory things that really just doesn't make any sense. Or just want to start a banter and argue with like people like my boy Lethal Papa. You know what I'm saying? Want to go in there and just act a damn fool and just want to cause the chat to be disruptive instead of just talking about it. I can say this: after getting rid of the riffraff for the most part on GRG, it's been stable. There's been PlayStation guys coming in there stating their opinions, and I like talking about hearing people's opinion, because even if I may not agree, it's just part of the whole gaming infrastructure, the whole community. And that's the one thing I like to do. And I think that's one thing why we all do these podcasts, is to listen to every different type of perspective. And that's what I like. I like that engagement. But the one thing about it is that there's just crazy people out there that just want chaos and havoc. So I can understand why Mooch does what he does, or what Crap does.
Yeah, but I think it's not Mooch Crap. It's not. That's the wrong way to keep going about it. I look at things differently. You guys look at it as,
don't single me out, man.
Yeah, because it's not me. It's not a me thing. I look at this as I get a chance to come on to YouTube and I get to be the person that I want to create. I want to create this entertainment. I want to have fun. I love gaming, right? I don't think all the people that we go see, right? Have you ever gone to see anybody live? I've seen, like, you go see Seinfeld live. You see anybody live. You go out and see all these guys, their shows. Whoever you want to pick. I don't care. You pick whoever your favorite actor or actress is, and they're doing their show, their stand-up. After they get done with their stand-up, you know what they do? They go home. They don't go wait outside and be like, so what'd you think? What'd you think? What'd you think?
Wait outside the door. It's like, let me know.
I think we all get on. We put a lot of time into the channel. You do a lot of work. You do a lot of effort. And one thing that Kay left out, okay, was Kay says he goes and checks his script. But Kay, you got to talk about the whole conversation we had. And I said, Kay, how much time do you spend in it? And you're like, maybe a couple minutes once a week or twice a week. Yeah, it's like that's what it comes down to. Is it doesn't do you as the content creator that much good. It doesn't mean you don't go there. I'm not saying anybody that goes there, that's great.
Well, I'm speaking more perspective of the live chat, because I like a lot.
That's different. Now we're not talking about that. The live, I love the live chat. I love the live chat.
This is for the comments after the podcast.
Yeah, the comments underneath the video.
Okay, I don't give a fuck about that. I'm sorry.
I love the live chat has to stay.
Yeah, the live chat is what I was talking
about. Absolutely, that's part of the show. That's now that changes everything. Yeah, that's like when you go to see the stand-up individual, doing their comedy. That's like nobody's in the audience.
Right.
Of course, you want to have people in the audience. Well, I love the audience.
You know what I'm saying? I get them. I get some. It's according to what kind of video that I post out, and then
You do, brother.
I know. I do. But I'm saying, for the most part, it's, to me, I do go back and I look at them. But like I said, like I told Mooch and them, I said, yeah, maybe once or twice a week. Other than that, before that, I used to watch it every day. Like, oh, there's a new comment. But there's so much hate because usually the haters come in at the later time, and then they just see whatever, and then they give me their dislike, and then they go in and then they say something really negative or stupid, and then talk about whatever.
I don't think
so
that.
I get that. I can understand that.
Yes.
I also look at this as another thing is where YouTube is trying to is making a narrative here. You smaller YouTubers, we're trying to get you pushed out of here.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
That's what I'm seeing.
That I agree. That I agree with too. I think that's YouTube's.
And then also, it's just like what we were discussing as well, is that they're trying to make people as responsible as they can be, because these people do not want to see these type of comments. Everything has got ultra sensitive, and you can like it or not. But
the minute.
Yep. Go ahead.
The minute you put the responsibility on the content creator of what's going to happen in that comment section, bye-bye comment section.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants. Why do you want to wake up tomorrow to you making great content and finding out you got a strike about something you had no control over? It won't happen. So what I'm saying is the pros don't outweigh the cons in this situation.
Right. Well, and that on that part, because it's the ending comments, I totally understand that, but I thought it was the comment section.
No.
Look, I police it. I police it as much as I can. If I need to put a couple of words in,
guys,
the chat's amazing. The chat is the reason that you do it.
Yo, guys, you guys are making this situation quite rosy. Not for anything, but YouTube was built on content creators and people coming and checking it out and sharing their opinion on it. That's how this whole website got real big.
Xbot, you bought it out though when we gave the answer to when you said that. You didn't. I don't think you heard us. What we were saying after that was that YouTube's changed since that golden eye that you're talking about of YouTube.
Running it have look at
the channel.
The small YouTubers.
There's people that there's people who use YouTube in the form of entertainment instead of television now. Okay, there are. Yeah, but that was YouTube when it first came out was a bunch of how-to fix-it videos. Okay. And somebody on a pogo ball trying to break the record, bouncing on it for 2 hours. That was what YouTube was. Now YouTube is different. And you don't have people. There's nothing on television right now that once it's done, it goes, please go to this website and tell us what you think of the show. Nobody does that. Nobody cares.
I would.
But no, that's a you problem.
Hold on. No, let me hit up the super chat real quick. Lady Foxfire said, Bill Gates, fix your shit. LOL. Yo, thank you so much, Fox. And I did see Sleepy Goblin before we had to start up a new Hangout. Hitting up that super chat and said that was for my computer. So I really appreciate that.
Let me answer Salt. Salt's going on a rant here. So I don't know. I didn't see this either, but Xbox said he saw that YouTube is saying this. So I don't know if you want to bring Salt on the show or tell Salt. He's been asking, what is it you're talking about? I haven't seen this either.
I've seen this 2 days ago.
I'm just talking to it.
I seen this 2 days ago. My man posted it. And I was thinking to myself, why the hell are you posting this? Because this is just going to attract these trolls to come in here and just try to sabotage people's channels. But now bots made it a damn topic, and so like, well, okay.
I don't think
the topics, brother.
I don't think it does anything like you were saying, Kay. It's a subject matter,
right. Yeah, but this is the thing overall to me is that, look, like I said, I thought I had it misinterpreted. I thought it was basically talking about the comment section while the podcast was going live. The comment sections at the end, I'm not. That's not that big of a deal.
Why don't you do this, Xbox? Because there's people in the chat that don't seem to. They don't know. I just found out from you 20 minutes ago myself. What is it that you read? What is the policy?
That's what I was about to say. Let's catch Salty up and a few people in the chat. There is a policy now when it comes to YouTube that your comment section, if there are derogatory statements in it, cursing, just negativity in your comment section, you as the content creator for the video that they're commenting on, you are responsible for that, and they will demonetize your video, possibly take your video off.
That's ridiculous.
Depending on how bad the comments are in your comment section. So it doesn't matter, if you're just trying to bring information out there and a bunch of haters come in and start tearing up your comment section or whatnot, you are responsible and you could get demonetized and your video could be taken off your channel. Go ahead, Knox. Go ahead.
Look, I mean, that shit is ridiculous. I mean, whatever. The comment section is utterly useless. I mean, other than yeah, you get some positive comments and it's a way to communicate. But we got Twitter for that. Like I said earlier,
Right.
my whole thing is, why is Google doing this? Why, if you just want to get rid of the comment section, just get rid of it. Don't ambiguously do the shit.
Say it's your fault, man. That's what you're gonna do.
Yeah, but still, I mean, you're ambiguously doing it by saying, well, we're gonna hold the content creator responsible. Well, the content creator, I don't want to be responsible for what a jackass says. I can't be responsible. That shit is ridiculous. So
that's what it is, man.
So what am I gonna do?
They're trying to push smaller YouTubers out. Right. So they can, so they don't get smaller than me. But that's not the truth. I mean, look, I'm still a small channel. I mean, look, technically, in the sense of things,
oh my man,
crap. Everybody, dealer, all them guys, even though they got 50, 60,000, they're still smaller compared to other people, and those people are the ones.
Xbot. Apparently, this is a non-issue because Salty just posted. YouTube says it's not restricting ads based on creators' comment section. Okay, next subject.
Okay.
Next subject.
All right, cool.
Call of Duty, my
next. All right,
cool.
next.
All right, Call
cool.
of Duty, guys. Guess what?
Next subject: the Loch Ness Monster.
Dude, like they even had Funhouse making videos about this. They had different media actually talking about this shit. So, but that's what happens. Live show. Hey, good to know then. You know what I'm saying? But Call of Duty behind closed doors, it seems that Sony and Xbox have been in a bidding war for the marketing rights and DLC for Call of Duty moving in into the future with the new hardware and everything like that. It even came out on Twitter as somebody tweeted that Call of Duty and Xbox are kind of like back to square one. A lot of people took that like Xbox has the marketing deal, will get the DLC first or whatnot. Me, myself, I'll let you know right now, I can give two shits about it. I'm not a big Call of Duty person, but I know Mooch was going to be on the panel, and I know there's people on the panel that do play Call of Duty. So, let's go to Predator real quick. Yo, Pred, haven't heard you in a while. So, dude, what do you think about this? Do you think that Xbox should be in a bidding war to get that traditional marketing with Call of Duty, to get the DLC first and all that good stuff? And do you think that they have snagged it or not, man?
I would look at some different aspects of this first, like what exactly is Microsoft not getting right now for not having this deal? Like, what are they missing out on? Because, I think where people play this game at is pretty even between Xbox.
It's mind share though, brother.
I understand that because again, Microsoft's not making any custom consoles. They're not doing anything with those marketing deals other than doing a bundle. So if that's all they're going to continue to do going forward, why waste thousands of millions of dollars for a marketing deal just to win mind share for this one franchise? It boils down to money. I get where you're coming from. It's mind share. You need to see it on this console, that console, market it first. Microsoft isn't going to do the whole 1 month only on our console type deal like they did like Sony does. So
if they're in a bidding war for it, they damn sure will.
So I don't know, because that's one of the things they're not doing now. They're not doing that with games now. So why would they all of a sudden start doing it with Call of Duty?
If you abandoned this generation, why are you going to pick it up on the next one? Especially when the shit is on a decline. I don't even understand.
Well, you say on the decline, but yet this last Call of Duty sold through the roof. And
yeah, I mean it's a big game. I'm not going to knock the game. It's a huge game, but
what it does.
How much are they spending on it? You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
What'd you say, Knox?
Yeah, I know.
No, I said I wouldn't say it sold through the roof. It did what it does.
It's a popular game, but I want to know how much they're going to spend.
It had like the highest numbers out of the Call of Duty series so far.
That's because of the people wanted to see a premium. What's this
Battle Royale?
Genre? Yes, thank you. People wanted to see a premium battle royale, and Apex just showed they did it better for free. What's that?
Now, if Microsoft knows what's coming down the pipe with Call of Duty, and they see this is going to be a huge moneymaker for them, that's a different story. Like, they've probably seen what they're working on already, and maybe they think it's just that big of a game coming out. You know,
you
they need
guys
to make some changes.
don't think that it'd be worth it for them to get the marketing rights back and kind of, people who were on Xbox with the 360 might look at this and breathe a little easier, like Xbox is back.
I don't know if this is going to change any. I've been talking to a few people behind the scenes, and they said that they don't really want to come back to Microsoft, from what I heard, because they want to stay. Call of Duty's all about the green, man. They want money. Yeah. And right now it's 100 million to 50 million respectively. Even if you want to, a lot of people say Xbox One's in the low 40s. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that because they value putting their Call of Duty stamp and the custom console every year. Okay, they want to be with the bigger install base. This was a great conversation that we all had years ago when the race was a little closer, or at least we thought it was. There's no way Activision and Call of Duty don't want that deal. Like, and Microsoft wouldn't be able to put the bucks up. Well, wait, let me rephrase that. They would be able to put the bucks up for it, the money for it. But guess what? They're not going to.
It wouldn't be worth it.
It doesn't make any sense.
So
at this point in time, now that doesn't mean that things can't change down the road, Xbot. When we see what next generation, like, my God, there's just next generation, as we've heard many times, next generation is not like any generation we've all known. It's the first curveball in 20 years. So we don't know what's going to happen.
Let me throw a curveball on this real quick. Isn't Activision in like a shitload of trouble any fucking way? They'll take any money they can get right now.
I don't think they're in trouble.
They just cooked their books, didn't they?
Yeah, they did cook their books, but I don't know. Let me make this point, right? Okay, this is something that I said in my drunken rant last night at ERG. And look, I have to. Well, I mean, it was. I mean, I went along with it, but the thing is that I said I had to reconsider. And it's funny that you guys have came to my side, especially Mooch, because I said I got to apologize to Crap Mooch and them because of the fact that I was the one that's saying, look, Xbox doesn't need Call of Duty because we're going to have Call of Duty on the Xbox anyway. Mm-hmm. And you guys were adamant about, look, we need the marketing rights. It's the thing. I have now come around, and now you guys is going back to where I was. That's pretty funny. But this is the thing where I have to disagree with everybody on this sense, except I think Preds is going to agree with me on this. Look, COD pushes consoles. They pushed out them ugly ass consoles on PlayStation and they sold like hotcakes.
Yep.
COD is just phenomenal. And even though that I think that it was Infinite Warfare that sold the worst and it got all the hate and all that type of stuff, it still was the number1 all-time selling game for that year.
Yep.
COD every year is either 1 or 2.
Yep.
On their product. So therefore, look, this is the thing right here. Microsoft needs to get this to make other gamers that have left the Xbox and to say, look, oh, well, shit, Xbox is trying to bring me back. Because look, people can talk about exclusives all they want to, but what is the money maker and what is the change what makes the world go round in gaming is a certain type of multiplat. And that is COD. COD is the one.
The only thing that you got wrong in your statement is I still do agree with you. And what I originally said years ago, too, is marketing deals do matter. What I'm saying that right now is Microsoft's not going to steal. No. Activision does want it. They're just going to take it from Sony. Sony's got the install base.
And then also what you got to put in perspective is that Sony is not going to be there at E3. They need they're not going to be at E3. I don't even think they're going to be at Paris Game Show. They're not going to be at Gamescom. They're only going to have their own show. So Xbox
Call of Duty's going to have their own reveal like they do every year in May, and then they're going to show their own show at E3. Sony, it was either last year or the year before that Sony didn't even show the Call of Duty of that year on stage. So they don't always do that anyway.
I got to chime in on this because there is another rumor supposedly that Call of Duty will actually be shown at E3 on the next generation Xbox hardware. Which is another reason why people are thinking that the relationship between Activision and Microsoft is a little better than.
Let me make this point. Let me make this point also, right? Okay, my son played. Before he became a realtor, he was playing in those MLG tournaments.
That proud dad right there. Before he became a realtor,
Before he became a realtor, he was hardcore into in MLG circuit, right? And so he was playing COD when it was on, when Xbox were the sponsors, pretty much. When he decided that he was kind of done with it is when it switched over to PlayStation, and when they was in their second year, they were saying that and if you notice, they haven't showed a lot of tournaments like they used to when it was with Xbox. The one reason is this: what he told me is that, look, man, the problem is because you can't wire your PlayStation in there into the. You can wire it in there, but they required you to have the PlayStation controllers to be played wireless, and it would.
Well, when you plug in a DualShock 4, it stays as a wireless, but it charges at the same
right.
time.
But see, the thing of it, the problem is that they were having so many problems of other PlayStations picking up other people's controller that it would mess up tournaments. That was he told me that 2 or 3 times. And so I was like, so he was like, man, and just in that, this and that. So he decided to just go ahead and that's when he started going for his realtor license. But he was dead set hardcore in this shit, right? So the thing of it was that PlayStation, they had the right, it was great for them, but everybody knows. Even I think PlayStation fans know COD is where they got their start at, was on Xbox. And that would be the great start of Xbox, having them come back, getting that marketing right of showing the casuals and other gamers that love COD that, look, Xbox has now got the marketing rights. We're showing it all over again, and that could bring people to start coming back to the Xbox.
Mega, check this out. Not only that, but, we are going to talk about in the future the rumors about where Xbox might be going and Game Pass and stuff like that. There's a lot of people out there yelling that the sky is falling, all sorts of good stuff. I think this would be a nice, if they can get this done, it would be a nice cushion to the gamers who have gamed on the Xbox platform, something familiar to them that they've seen throughout the entire 360 generation.
Someone in the chat there, Facey, makes a good point. He says, Microsoft doesn't care for selling consoles, so why would they waste the money on a COD marketing deal? There's something about that, right? So Microsoft is definitely not putting console sales up as far as the forefront, right? They want their software everywhere. We know this is abundantly clear now. That's not really a talking point. So it really does go to say that we all know Call of Duty is probably one of the most expensive marketing deals out there. Why would they? And again, I have to say again, Sony has the install base. They want to sell consoles. This is a what do they call it there? A collector's edition console, and Microsoft hasn't done that in ages. They just don't do that anymore.
I think Microsoft is trying to right the ship, man. They know what they have to do. And you're right, Mooch. They are.
They know.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait to get on that subject because I definitely got a theory on this. But but I think that Microsoft knows. Overall, Microsoft is trying to have their tentacles withered through every aspect of gaming,
right,
like they do Windows on PC. That is, I think, that their overall strategy. But we'll get into that later.
I'm hard pressed to believe that Microsoft is going to want any sort of exclusivity, anything with a third-party franchise when they're putting Game Pass on every other freaking device that they can imagine.
That's what wait to talk about that, bro.
Listen, I got to tell you something, Knox. Great point, because that's what I'm. And listen, I'm not saying that they won't. They very well may get the Call of Duty rights back. But my point being is, like, everything, if you look at the evidence that Microsoft and everything they've done and what they're about to do and what they're about to reveal at E3, it just doesn't look like they're going to go and put $25 or $50 million down. Yeah, that doesn't do them much more good for their future plan.
You're right, Mooch. It'd be foolish.
If they do, great, but I don't see it.
It doesn't fall into their strategy. Now, if these companies want to come in, they want to jump on the bandwagon with them.
Come on aboard.
Come on down. Yep. But
what's going to grab more attention? Them Activision having their own show showing COD, or having one of those platforms or consoles showing off the power of what these consoles can do? Because look, people are going to be asking, if Activision just does it for themselves, people are going to be asking, is that a PlayStation 5? Is that Xbox Anaconda? Which one is it? So it would be best. It would behoove if either company to have that opportunity to show off their hardware.
If Sony's gonna do it, they're not gonna use a third party. They're gonna use their own first party license. They're gonna use their own first party games to show off their hardware.
Listen.
Until the end of the year.
Let me explain this to there's somebody in the chat here. Toby G's, listen to me. First of all, Toby, I've seen you at Crossfire. I don't know if you go to Xbox Nation, but I know you MNC. You're in all these podcasts. You listen to everything. He writes a couple months ago, Mooch was yelling for Microsoft to get COD back. Then he writes, wait. Well, hold on. A couple months ago, 24 hours ago, we found out that Microsoft's going to be on the Switch. What are you talking about? A couple months ago? This is the gaming business. It's not like any other business in the world. It changes the minute you wake up tomorrow. So you can't be like, hey, Mooch, didn't you say in 2016 that you stop it? Just stop it. Because what happened in 2016? Hey, here's something. At Army time, right? And this is for Pred. At 2016, yesterday, things changed. Okay? So what you don't understand is that you can't say, hey, Mooch, don't you remember what you said in 24? Stop it. You sound ridiculous. You cannot tell somebody what they said 8 months ago when everything in this gaming world changes day to day. We found out 24 to 48 hours ago that Xbox might be on a PlayStation soon. So you can't sit there and tell me,
bro, I don't doubt it.
You guys are chomping at the bit.
We've got to stop with that nonsense.
Let's just get to the real topic. Let's get to the goddamn
put it on your smart fridge.
Let's talk about the real topic.
All right. Mega, you convinced me, guys. Here we go.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Rumor came out.
Let me set everybody on this goddamn panel straight. Let's go.
Rumor came out, and I will say rumor, even though there's a lot of people behind those closed doors saying that this is really, really viable right now. That, well, two things. First off, that Microsoft and Nintendo are working on getting Game Pass on the Switch. But not only that, that games like Ori, Lucky's Tale, and one or two other kind of like smaller type games are going to be made and developed for the Switch. So this way they are going to run natively on the Switch. Now, everybody knows those are Xbox games, right? So everybody is definitely strongly opinionated when it comes to this. Now, who wants to start this first? What do you guys think
Knox
about?
And Pred and them get first before me and Mooch get started.
Right. You know what? Let me set it. Let me set it off. Let me set it off.
Is it kumbaya, brother?
Listen, let me tell you something. Mooch already said, the lattes are brewing, the candles are lit. You know how it goes. But you know what? Go ahead and do all that. Let me play. Where is Breath of the Wild on my Xbox? Where is Super Mario Odyssey on my Xbox? You do that? You let me play Metroid on my Xbox? Xbox native, the way they're planning to do with Ori, right? Where they're planning to make it like native to the Switch. You do that? I'm good money, baby. Play your Xbox games where you want them. Let me play my Nintendo games where I want. If I want to play my Nintendo games on the Xbox, let me do that. Yeah. I don't want to play them on the Switch. I want to play them on my Xbox.
Yeah, but like you said, Knox, that's not going to happen. We know that ain't going to happen.
I know. But
it's a one-way street.
So that's what I'm saying. And that's what I don't like about it. It's a one-way street. So, yeah, if for all intents and purposes, if it was going both ways, go ahead, Microsoft. Do your thing. But it ain't. It's gonna be Microsoft stuff everywhere. God of War still on PlayStation.
Get Ori in the blind.
God of War still on PlayStation. Zelda still on Switch or whatever Nintendo console, Sony console, whatever's the relevant console at the time.
Ori, Cuphead, everything going over to Switch, and we're gonna get Luigi and Killer Instinct.
Thanks. And that's no good.
Of course, it's not good.
And that's no good. And so, yeah, I'd be all for it. I'd be all for it if it were a two-way street. But it ain't a two-way street.
And listen, I'll be honest with you. I don't think it's as negative. Listen, if you want to go ahead and put Xbox Live on the Switch, I really, personally, I mean, this is not 2016. This is not 2015. This is 2019. And we see where things are going. You've got Google, you've got Amazon, you've got Verizon, you've got Apple. Everybody's about to dip their foot into the $2 billion a consumer-based world of video games. So what Microsoft is saying is, if Google's going to let you play Assassin's Creed Odyssey on your Lenovo and your Chromebook and your phone, okay, and everything else you might have,
their console,
right?
and
whatever. Microsoft's trying to say, wait a minute, we've got first-party studios. We've been doing this for almost 2 decades. Why don't we go ahead? Why don't we go ahead and get a head start? And I'll do one better. I'll start putting my services. They're already on PC. I can already start putting my services on competing platforms and make money off of them. Realistically speaking, I get it from a business standpoint. I really, really do. But I also have to say that we all have to start to, if this is the case, you have to look at Microsoft and the Xbox brand differently than you did 72 hours ago. You do. It's a different company at this point. Somebody in the chat said that they're secretly turning into Sega. Now, I don't think that that's necessarily the case, that it'll go that far, because I think they're still going to support hardware.
Let me tell you, Mooch, real quick. This is how it's going to go down. Game Pass is going to be on other platforms, but it is not going to include Microsoft exclusives. It is not going to include Forza. It is not going to include Gears.
The rumor says Halo. The rumor says one of them's going over. So the rumor says that either Forza, Halo, or Gears is going to the Switch.
I don't see that happening.
It's a rumor. I don't know.
Knox, here we go. When we're talking Game Pass, it says Game Pass via xCloud. So at the end of the day, these games are going to be streamed to these different devices. All right. Now, when it comes to that, I don't have a problem with that. All right. The only kind of like curveball to me is games like Ori and the Blind Forest, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Super Lucky's Tale, all being developed to run natively on the Switch. That's the curveball to me that says like, whoa, what's going on? The whole streaming thing, I know there's people out there like, well, I don't need to buy an Xbox now because, yeah, you know what? Have fun. Even if Game Pass goes onto the PlayStation, because you don't have the hardware within the PlayStation that's going to deal with the latency issues that you would have on the Xbox. Possibly
Game Pass will never be on a PlayStation. That's number one, bro. It's never. It's not going to be, because the third-party partners that are in Game Pass, right? That's gonna stomp on Sony's third party with the same partners. It's gonna shit on the.
Now you're talking.
It is not going to happen. That will never happen.
Can we have some conversations? That's what I'm talking about.
On the Switch, it could happen because the Switch doesn't have those third-party entities like that. Yes, they don't.
Right.
So it can happen. On Sony, never gonna happen.
Okay.
Make it sound like an evil genius. He's like,
bruh, because this is okay.
True.
Fred, you want to go ahead and get into this before
Go
I
ahead,
do?
fellas. Get him, fellas.
Fred, please go before me, because I really want to shut this motherfucker down. Fred, please go before me. Please.
I don't even know what I need to say right now.
Go ahead, brother. Please.
You know, I mean, I'm not for it. I understand the business aspect of it and why they're doing it. It makes sense because, like, they don't want to put that R&D into developing a console, especially how, you know, it's turned out for this generation with them having, when I say console, I mean a handheld. Because people used to be like, oh, why don't you get in the handheld market? We want, you know, play our games on the go and et cetera, et cetera. But why would they spend that money? This is a simple way for them to get involved in that market without having to actually put the money.
Facts. Keep talking, Fred.
Into making a console. And as shitty as, you know, the mind share is of Microsoft right now, that console would be dead on arrival if they came up with a handheld. So this gives them a benefit. You know, they've said it before in the past. They want to put everything on everything. You know, it would not surprise me if Sony follows suit and put PS Now on there. So at some point in time, whenever they get their head out of their ass and stop playing, you know, traditional.
They are reworking PlayStation Now. They hire people to get that thing running on multiple devices as well. You guys,
Sony's shady ass will probably come out with a PSP 2 or something like that to kind of combat that, but they're still gonna be playing the same games on it. But you know, you still be playing your exclusive PlayStation games on there and stuff like that. You know, a dumbed down version of stream it or whatever. But their ecosystem isn't built for that yet. But I'm not gonna take the crap stance and just be totally against it. I can see the benefits of having it. I have a Switch, so you know, great. But I don't think they'll have. I think what Knox was saying like how it's going to affect the third party.
I haven't even seen that scenario until Knox brought it out.
Yeah, I didn't even thought about that. Like, we're just so concerned about Microsoft's games, and yeah, would I like to see, and that was my question. I think we had this conversation a while back. What is Microsoft getting out of this? Like, what games are we gonna get from Nintendo?
No, they're getting the ability to put Game Pass on the Switch. That's all they're getting, man.
They're getting paid. That's it. They're getting paid.
They'll have people on Switch subscribing to Xbox Live, so they get users that way. They get Game Pass out there that way. But they have to make their console relevant. And if it's not going to be a symbiotic relationship where Xbox gets God of War and Nintendo gets Halo, and all three of them sharing their exclusive, because they can do that and then sell their hardware at a profit.
Microsoft is all about selling their software, guys. And I'll tell you, Sony right now is doing very well, but a big part of Sony right now is the PlayStation. Right. So they need to sell hardware. It's part that's a marriage that they have to have. I don't think Microsoft's not leaving the hardware department, folks. If they were, they wouldn't be putting out 2 consoles next year. OK, so they're not leaving the hardware department, but you can see it's not their first line of defense. If they had to get rid of the Xbox console, they would still have all these first party studios. They would still be trying to do what they're doing right now. They're trying to sell the software. Okay, they've got the Azure cloud. They've got all these things working for them. That's the infrastructure they've built over the past 10 plus years. They are ready to launch with that. And their main competitor is Google, Amazon, Apple, and Verizon. It's not Sony. And if you don't, and you know what? Listen, Knox, today, okay, because everybody here is writing things down and taking pictures. Today, okay, today you're right. It sounds ludicrous to have an Xbox Live service on PlayStation, but hear me out. First of all, there is rumblings of it first, but let's ignore that. Let's just talk about it for brass taxes here. For Sony to allow if they wanted it, which by the way, Xbox would do it. It's if Sony would allow it. If Sony allows Xbox Live onto their console, hear me out. Now, you would want to go buy a PS5 because you could play Xbox games on it and Sony exclusives, only Sony exclusives, right? And your third-party games. It's a one-stop shop for a lot of gamers. You don't have to buy 3 consoles anymore. I'm just saying. Listen. These are all hypotheticals.
But then, how do you make your two hardware iterations relevant when you do that? That's my
games will be run native.
Y'all had y'all turn. It's K-Mega's time.
Yeah, go ahead, K. The answer to your question in short is Microsoft doesn't care. They don't have to, Knox.
Then why put it out? You're going to lose money.
This is the thing right here. No, they're not.
No, they're not.
This is the thing right here. I think
it's the same reason people build PCs.
Right. Listen, I said this 2 years ago, and I think Mooch can vouch for me for that. When we were sitting there on BGST, I said you could be in the state of being like Barney Rubble and stay in the old guard. And not saying that my boy Crap and Noof and all of them are wrong. People are rocking them and saying that they're wrong. Not saying that, because your opinion is your opinion. How you think about it is not right or wrong. But either you're going to get on this train or you're going to get left.
Yes.
Gaming, I've been saying this for a minute. Gaming is about to change in a way that we have never seen ever in this, ever. And now we're starting to actually see everything start to form up. Xbox had this vision from the very get. They just didn't message it right in 2013. Right. Yep. And now they are ready. They're set. And this is why I call Phil a killer. That's why I say Killer Phil. Because look, what is the worst type of villain? The one that will put his hand on your back and say, my friend, I will stick with you to the end. While deep down, they're going to go ahead and they're going to try to crush you and take everything from you. PlayStation would be so. Look, this is the thing right here. Knox, I believe you 100%. PlayStation would be a fool. Sony would be a fool to allow Xbox to come in anywhere near their infrastructure, into their fan base, and allow Game Pass to come in there, because you know what's going to hurt? What?
Check this out. You said they would be a fool, but what if at the end of the day, it's a tit for tat type thing? Like we'll put we'll put Game Pass on the PlayStation,
Nope.
but we'll also allow PS
Nope.
Now.
No, it's not
Nope.
gonna happen. That's not
Nope.
PlayStation is too goddamn greedy.
That's not how Sony plays.
Dude,
Sony
they're
plays to win.
But they're reworking PlayStation
No.
Now to do the
But-
exact
Now they're
same
revamping
thing,
they're
man.
revamping PS Now so it works.
Yes, but that's not how this works.
That's
That's not how this works. PlayStation has put themselves in a precarious situation, right? They put themselves by saying, we are the hardcore. We want the diehards, the noobs, the craps, the people that believe, the Z's. We want these people on here. And a lot of people bought in because Xbox made so many goddamn mistakes this generation. What Xbox is saying to you right now is that, look, you got to look at it from a whole perspective, also with the business and also with the strategy. They say, look, we will give Nintendo. This is why Reggie, in my opinion, and I could be totally wrong, but this is why Reggie left. Reggie sees what the future is going to be. Nintendo is one goddamn foot away from going away from consoles. They are 1 foot out. Remember what the CEO from Nintendo wished. I wish my boy Baby Bot, Bloody Knuckles was here because he would have said his name absolutely proper. But this is what this is about. Nintendo wants to be close to being third party without being third party. And the best thing to do is to partner up with a rival that is not so much their rival, which is Xbox, because PlayStation and Nintendo and Sony has a deep relationship. Has a bad relationship from the very beginning. And what
they haven't gotten over that yet, man.
Hell no, they haven't. Hell no, they haven't. And the fact of it is that this is a slap in the face to the maybe in Japan or whatever, but this is a slap in the face to Sony because they're like, look, we're going to partner up. This is going to make PlayStation even more arrogant than what they are because they have won the market share. They have dominated this generation, and they have made the staple about single player games and all of that. So there's no way in hell that they would let Xbox bring Game Pass to PlayStation. If they did, it would be Titans for finito for PlayStation Now. And everybody, even PlayStation fans, know that because if you got Game Pass, you got newer games because PlayStation is not going to bring in their newer games because they want to make that revenue off of them. That's another reason why PlayStation has went out and said, look, we're going to put more money into our first party games. They may take a little bit more time, and we're going to cut ties with companies like Quantum Dream and everything and just go hard in the paint for first party. They see the writing on the wall. The whole rumor about Verizon, I believe it's 100% correct because they need that type of strategy to get more users. Why do you think PlayStation changed their shit from sales to user base like Xbox did 4 fucking years ago?
Here's the other thing, Kay. Let's break this down. Sony and PlayStation, they don't even want cross-play.
No.
So now you're telling me they're going to let Xbox games on their console? It's not happening.
Exactly. And also, look at this. If they did allow Game Pass on here, this is what the fanboys be cracking me up with, right? They'd be like, oh, man, Xbox has lost their identity. Man, look, I may not know trigonometry and I may not know goddamn whatever that crazy fancy-ass math is, but I do know how to add
calculus.
Calculus, thank you.
Addition.
I do know how to add addition. I do. Shut up. But check this out. You don't diminish your brand by adding more users to your goddamn to your bottom line. And just think about this. If there's so many people that is excited from the Nintendo side that's like, man, Game Pass is going to be played on the Switch through xCloud. Just think about how many Nintendo consoles is out there right now? About 30 million?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, so check this out, right? Okay, let's just say that they don't even do half. Let's just say they do 5 million. That is 5 million extra Xbox Live users that has to have gold in order to play xCloud.
There is no we don't know that. We don't know when it comes to Game Pass if they're gonna do.
But you still gotta pay for Game Pass, right? You're gonna still have to pay for it.
$10 a month, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So either way, let's just say that they scratch out the gold, but you still got to pay $10 a month for what y'all. And then once those Nintendo fans get a taste of playing newer games and those third parties, they're going to probably jump up for like, goddamn, I can play Doom, I can play this game, I can play that. Let's just say that they add Jump Force or something else, or
Doom's
something
already on Switch though, brother.
I'm saying just another, but yeah, but with the high fidelity, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Through the xCloud. There will be so many people that will jump on that. That's another 5 million added to the what 40 to 50, 40 to 60 million Xbox consoles.
But Mega, what about?
Do not hold on. Let me finish. I said I was going to talk about this, and hold on. Don't forget about the PC space. Don't forget about also the Xbox. There's always going to be Xbox fans that are not going to buy any other console but except for Xbox. You can say that they.
Do you think that's 40 million though?
Oh hell yes! I mean, look how bad the Xbox One this generation has been. It's like in a sense of being of scrutiny. Xbox has never been scrutinized, even from the OG Xbox. That OG Xbox was getting hated on, but it never got hated on like the Xbox One. And you still sold anywhere from 40 to 60 million consoles. There's still going to be that many people that want to invest into an Anaconda or into
but in the ecosystem.
Yes,
but here's the deal: if some of the people that bought the Xbox One this generation, if they also have a Switch, right, and if they end up that they're playing their Switch more and have Game Pass when it comes down to new hardware, and I think this was one of Crap's concerns is like, well, will they go ahead and invest in another console or whatnot? And that was his whole thing is that this definitely.
If you're a portable, if you're an on-the-go gamer, no, you got Game Pass on there. You got your Switch titles, your Nintendo first parties on there, and you're on the go.
But Microsoft don't care about that.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's that gamer. I'm not a portable gamer. I don't got a 3DS. I mean, I do, but I don't. That's for my children's stuff. Switch, 3DS, that's theirs. That's not me. I'm always gonna get the console, the right here, boom, right in front of my TV. That's the kind of gamer I am. So you can always get whatever suits your needs. So, like Crap's concern, like you said, was, well, is it going to still be relevant to get that console? Well, yeah, if that's relevant to you.
Xbox fans, there's always going to be PlayStation fans, there's always going to be Nintendo fans. And the one thing I would say what would be the ultimate killer shot is it because this part is the only negative to me is what you guys alluded to earlier is that Nintendo doesn't give anything back to Xbox at all. That's the only negative, which I just don't think Microsoft is
a big negative though.
That is a huge negative, but I just
they need to get something back.
I think that they are going to get something back, even though they you might have Samus or
let me play some Metroid on Xbox. I'm doing money
on a new Killer Instinct or something like that. Regardless of the fact, but what Nintendo knows and what Nintendo has been alluded to, and they rumored that in that interview a couple of months ago from the CEO is that they want to do the same thing Xbox is doing. And the one thing that would kill every goddamn thing, and what every Xbox fan is hoping and praying for, is that Nintendo will have an app to where we can play old Nintendo games. That would kill anything right there.
Put them right on Game Pass.
Yeah.
You put them right on Game Pass.
Right.
And that's that.
And I think
that's what. Well, why not? That makes sense. Third-party games are already on Game Pass. Why wouldn't they?
You put them right on there. You got them everywhere. You got them on iPhone. You got them on Android.
That's something that the Xbox camp would like to see, but I just personally don't think. Like I said, I make a joke of it, but I think Killer Instinct 2 will come out, and we're gonna get Luigi as a character. That's the better, you know what I mean? Or you're gonna get.
I remember when we were all arguing, and I was right there on the front lines too with you, brother. With you saying, "Look, man, what the hell is Xbox doing all this damn cuddling and cradle? Oh, Zelda is so great." And so they were already putting in the seeds for Nintendo kissing that ass because they got something in the works.
The Xbox brass was tweeting out Merry Switchmas.
Yes. And you know what? And you know who's the loser out of this? Who's going to be the loser out of this? PlayStation. Because PlayStation has got no choice but to do backwards compatibility, cross-play, and everything else that Xbox has been preaching about at the end of this generation and what PlayStation doesn't want to do. Because they know not only that they got to worry about Xbox
planning on doing similar things, though, brother.
But they got to worry about Google and they got to worry about Amazon because, like I've said before, they got the capital. It's not like the 3DO and the motherfucking Atari Jaguar days. These people got capital. They'll take a loss to risk it all to get into the gaming space because it is bigger than fucking movies.
Yeah.
Gaming is at a whole nother level in entertainment than it's ever been in our history. That's why I think PlayStation put themselves in a bad spot by trying to talk about just single player games. And now you hear them talking about changing it up. We're going to start doing DLC. We're going to start doing this. And do you think that there'll be a lot of PlayStation fans that's going to like all that shit? Because you already see that there's gamers out there that don't even like.
If Tony says it, they'll love it, man. I'm saying. Like,
more important,
there's always going to be PlayStation fans, but the era of the console is about to die because it's all about software. It's something that I've been saying from the get. That's where you make all your money. That's why places like GameStop and all these other mortar stores that's been doing by these hard copies, there's always going to be people that's going to go after them just like they like vinyl records. But at the end of the day, people want to go and have convenience.
Well, the difference between this and vinyl records is like at the end of the day, you get so far into the future with the game, it's not going to be able to play on that old ass Xbox One X or anything like that anymore. Like, I don't see the similarity there when it comes to music, and vinyl records with a record player as opposed to games moving into the future, man.
I have no understanding. No, I do not want consoles to die. If this was where Xbox,
you just said they were going to die, man.
No, they're eventually going to die. We all know this.
Dude, I've been saying that for like a year and a half, 2 years now. That's
going to happen. It might not have this generation, and it may not happen the generation after that, but it's going to eventually where it's going to be gone. The thing of it is that, look, I just know these people, look, people want bigger and better games, do they not? They want games to be 100 million plus budgets. They want these powerful story games. Why don't you read these reviews? I mean, not reviews, but read these articles from Amy Henny and Mark Cerny. I think that's something Cerny, whatever his first name. Yeah, Mark
Creepy
Cerny.
Clown. That's what I call him, Creepy Clown.
And they admitted that we don't know what to do about this aspect. Single player games are going to be in trouble because gamers are out there fighting against wanting to pay a little bit more, but they want everything. And that's not going to work. It's just not financially viable. They got to find, you understand? So PlayStation has won this generation because of the whole single player aspect. Why do you think that they cut ties with some of their second party people that they've been with forever? It's just the writing is on the wall, man. Sony has to make these decisions so they can make huge, big budget games, so they can try to get the market share, so they can also get all the critics and all of that, while Xbox is saying, look, we'll kill you within. We'll buy Havoc engines, we'll buy this, we'll buy that, and we'll partner up with people, and we'll piss people off at the end of the day. But all over how we've seen with digital games, how everybody hated digital games, more and more people are buying digital games. Xbox has got a strategy, and I think Killer Phil has got the remedy. I'm just saying.
All right. Well, check this out.
Definitely Microsoft. Microsoft makes money no matter who makes money. Sony makes money. Microsoft makes money. No matter what you do, Microsoft makes money. As far as Microsoft,
they did put that behind the scenes with grabbing Havoc and all the little kind of like
absolutely
they do make money.
They make money every time somebody makes money, bro.
My boy Face 23. Brooklyn. I think that's Brooklyn. He said he said at this point, he said basically PlayStation's been winning he said single player games
been winning game of the
year, and they sold well. Don't know what K-Mega's talking about. Listen, let's talk about real math, not about fanboy math. God of War, great, fantastic game. I had to eat crow on it, right? Detroit, I love Detroit. But Detroit only sold what? Detroit,
well, it's a movie. Detroit.
Stop it. 2.5 million. Horizon Zero Dawn sold what? 7 million, 8 million? Let's just round it off and say 10 million. Let's just say all these games, let's just say all of these PlayStation games sold 15 million out of a base of what? Close to 100 million? Bro. Let's think logically here. What's running the market right now? That's why Phil, he said it wrong. He shouldn't have said it the way he said it, but it's just what the industry is what they see. Call of Duty, these
Brother, 15 million is still 15 million. It doesn't matter about the consumer base to the developer and the publisher, man.
But I'm saying though, when you have a base like that, you don't think those publishers is on
think you would sell more, yeah.
Why we don't have at least 30 million people buying God of War? We got 96 goddamn million people that owns a PlayStation, and you can only muster up. Look, for me, it doesn't matter about sales. That's why I say sales is irrelevant. But to them, to the publisher, they're not understanding what's the logic behind that. You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying about that. They can win all the awards they want to. These people want results.
I got you. Well, yo, Mooch, what do you think about this whole thing in terms of the traditional console? I think K Mega kind of lit the chat on fire when he was like, consoles dead and all that good stuff. Do you think that this is going to be kind of like the idea moving forward if this gets solidified?
I think the console's not going anywhere for the foreseeable future, and I'll explain it to you like this. I don't look at a console the same way we used to look at a console 3 years ago. The consoles that are going to be coming out, the Anaconda for one and the PS5 for another, they're going to be basically Steam boxes. You know, they're PCs. They're little PCs they're building for you, so you don't have to go out there and do what I did and what K Mega did and build the one yourself. My point being here is that so you always need something at this point in time. Is you need something to play these games on. Okay, PC, tablet, and like you said, if you're like an audiophile guy, right? What do you have? B&W speakers. You got equalizers up the ass. You're doing everything like okay. You love your sound. If you love 4K 60, you have to have hardware. Yeah. So I don't see the PS5 and the Anaconda being the last two. What Kay is talking about and referring to is the distant future, the distant future, and it's hard to predict it. I know where he's going with that. I'm not going to say he's wrong. I'm not going to say he's wrong because things will change again, and maybe we won't need them in the shape and form that we have them today. So I don't think that the consoles are going to be gone anytime soon. However, the one thing he said that was right was you have to look at this. And Xbox, you know this better than anybody because whenever you poll your census, you're always like, I asked all the kids, they said this. Right? So, like, if you look at the younger generation, they are playing. Listen, everybody in this panel knows this, and a lot of us, we all have kids, right? I've got every game under the sun on Xbox, third party, and PlayStation, and my kids want to play Fortnite. You know what I'm saying? Like, hear me out, right? They maybe they leave Fortnite for what? Apex. Okay, so I mean, you see where I'm going? These are free games that are charging you to buy scarves and different types of boots. My point being is that is where the money is right now. That's what K Mega was kind of trying to say right there. You got 100 million consoles out there, and 10 or 15 million of those. Don't get me wrong. Xbox made a point. That's money, right?
No,
money's money.
That's
but
a lot of money. Yeah,
it is a lot of money. They did well. They did very well.
They did excellent.
But you know what people like? You know what's better? More money. So right. So when you see that Fortnite has a cartoony game, and Epic has a cartoony game, and it's making them billions with a B. Okay, now that 15 million with an M. Don't look so good.
Don't look so big, man.
What it is moving forward is going to be.
Let me ask you one question, and then you continue. God of War sold what? About 10 million?
God of War was somewhere around the 10 million mark. Let's say even 15.
Okay, yeah, let's just say 15 for shits and giggles.
Just for give them benefit of the doubt.
Is it still a $1 billion franchise?
I don't think God of War is $1 billion franchise.
Nah, that answers my question.
No,
I mean, you just answered my question for me. Right. Saying, right?
But I mean, don't get me wrong. Listen, okay, like let's be honest. McDonald's is big money maker is the Big Mac, right? But it doesn't mean they're going to get rid of the McArch Deluxe.
No,
I mean, listen. My point is, they're still making some money off of the chicken nuggets and everything else. But what I'm saying is, you have to have your banger, but then at the same time, you have to find another money revenue stream that brings in that cash. Now, and Microsoft has it. And Knox, I'll give you the mic. But Microsoft has that with their games as a service, and we don't know yet. But I truly believe that this Halo that's about to come out in 2020, this Halo that's about to come out, folks, is not your traditional Halo game.
No.
This is going to be a games as a service like you ain't seen before.
It better be a hell of a good one.
Oh, that's too early for me to tell. And I'll tell you this much. I've said this, and everyone else doesn't agree with me, and that's fine. But I think the initiative is making a games as a service as well.
Really?
Absolutely. You do not bring in this kind of money. Do you know how much? They took a snapshot. They took a snapshot of the guy, like the 10 top people at the initiative eating lunch, and everyone else is like, "Oh, look how cool that is! Look how great it is! Look at it! You know what I saw? You know what I saw?
Money.
I saw $10 million eating sandwiches.
You know what?
That's what I saw. You don't bring in $10 million worth of talent. You don't bring in $10 million worth of talent. Look, hey, hear me out. This is all I'm using your evidence. Okay, you don't bring in that kind of talent to the initiative to make a single player game that's going to sell 10 to 15 million copies. Ain't going to happen, folks. This is going to be something where, again, okay, take this with a grain of salt. They're going to say it's 10 years, our 10-year plan, right? So everyone says that. Division says it. Anthem says it. Destiny said it. But
everybody.
Now Microsoft's going to have their 10-year plan.
Hold on, let me pay the bills for bot. Let me pay the bills for bot.
Go ahead.
Listen to this dude right here, man.
Thank you first.
They in their feelings. Thumbs.
Thank you, thumbs.
Thank you for saying money to sit there and pay to the crew. I appreciate that. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna buy me another Pepsi with that shit. Right. So, anyway, using K Mega's logic, then all multiplats are selling 100 million copies. You sound dumb. Okay, listen. I know that you're in your feelings because I said something about your beloved God of War. I said I'm just being realistic. I'm just saying, look, Call of Duty, look, Pred just brought up the point of saying, look, Activision cooked their books to try to make COD look better than what it was, or the company overall to look better than what it was, when the only thing that was withstanding is COD. Every time that you look at a PlayStation top 10, what are they, gentlemen?
Multiplats.
Not God of War, not Horizon Zero Dawn, not Detroit, not Spider-Man.
They're there for like the first month and then they just trickle.
That's it. And when people say one and dones, it's no different than what you guys say about Xbox has no true exclusives because they are on whatever. But at the end of the day, when it comes to these companies, the one thing that talks is money.
That's it.
My dude.
What metric have I been saying we need to use for the longest now? What metric have I been saying?
What metric?
Money, not console sales.
Money.
Of course.
Yeah, that's it. Yes.
Listen. If God of War sold 15 million, all right, let's just use that outrageous number because it did not. But whatever, right? If it sold 15 million on PS4, could you imagine what it would have sold if it was on PC, PS4, Xbox, Switch, Android, iPhone, your mother's tablet, everybody's tablet?
Tell me, now you coming to K Mega side, now you coming to Killer Phil's side.
No, because you're right. I don't know about Killer Phil and the lattes and all that.
No, you understand what I'm saying.
No, you're right. You are right. You are right. But of course, Sony, like I said earlier, Sony has to make their hardware relevant. How do you do that? You keep God of War exclusive. You keep Uncharted exclusive. You have to. And that's what I'm saying. If putting Game Pass, go ahead and put Game Pass in everybody's ass if you want to.
Who's on the product?
Just keep Halo, Gears, and Forza out of it, and I'm good. Even if you want to,
no, that's going into Game Pass.
No. Put Ori, put Killer Instinct, put Sea of Thieves. You keep Halo, you gotta hold something to your chest.
Mooch, what do I gotta do to tell these people that, when it comes down to it, Halo, Gears, Forza,
I'm just saying
they're gonna be streamed through Game Pass on multiple devices.
Then don't bother to make hardware unless it's gonna be niche. And by niche, you gotta make an inexpensive PC.
Don't fall for that fanboy logic, bro. I made this in my rant last night. I said
clapping hands. Oh shit.
Because some of you guys, and I know everybody is smart. That you know what I'm saying. But you let the bullshit rhetoric get to you. Listen to facts. When Coca-Cola, I said this last night because there was somebody that posted that shit earlier and said, "Mega, you have me tripping."
I'm a Pepsi guy, by the way. So
okay, but hold on. With Coca-Cola, when there's people that says, "Oh, look, I'm not drinking no Coca-Cola because it's got so much sugar, it's this and that. Coke is evil. These soda companies are so evil. I'm not gonna buy a Coke." Then they go around and they buy vitamin water. They buy vitamin water. You know who's laughing all the way to the bank?
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. That's exactly what this is business. This whole thought in saying that Xbox has no no exclusives, or they have that they're diminishing their brand. They're expanding their brand. When you have more people to get onto your service, you are upgrading. You're not digressing. This is exactly what they're doing. I don't understand why other people can look at that and say, look, when people say, man, we got to stay away from chocolate. This is hurting the kids. Obesity in the United States and
crack.
Yeah, it's crack. We got to stay away from all this goddamn sugar. And people say we're going to ban Nestle Crunch chocolate bars. They're like, God damn. You think that they're going to be saying, God damn, it hurts it hurts us. Because you know what? No, they're not hurt. Because you know what? When you buy Charmin and wipe your ass, they're like, thank you. Because they own Charmin.
Listen, not just that, but if you want to talk about it from that level, K Mega, you know, you have to look at it from another standpoint. Look at this. If you go and buy an iMac, okay, you can boot camp and you can put Windows on your Apple device. You know what you can't do?
What?
You can't go buy a Surface laptop and put iOS on it.
Nobody wants to.
And yeah, and I know you keep saying that, Xbox, but I'm just trying to prove a point.
No, I got you, bro.
This is right. This is what Microsoft does. This is how they keep themselves in their books relevant. Is they want their services, they want their software on everything. Now, like K Mega just said, you know, that's how they deem themselves. That's how they make money. It's business. Now, do I agree with it? You know, because I'm having some great conversation with Noof in the chat. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it because, but I don't have to. But the thing at the same time, it's also, you know, when you see your ship's about to crash into a mountain, you know what you do? You brace for the hit, right? So what I'm saying to you is that Xbox is about they're going to diminish a little bit with their first party. I really do, because once it's all over the place, people may understand. And I'm not talking to you guys in the chat or the hardcore or the people listening to the show later. I'm talking to the casuals. When the casuals see that Halo, I'm using it as an example, okay? Halo's on Switch or Halo's on PlayStation in the future. Mm-hmm. Like, people no longer say to themselves, I need an Xbox. Because hypothetically, and for real purposes, you don't. But Microsoft is not. You don't need me to tell you that. Let's just turn to any of the E3s the past couple of years, where PC is Xbox and Xbox is PC. So, and you know, all the people that are the Sony fans have been saying it in the chat forever. Well, I don't need an Xbox anymore. I'll play it on PC. You know, they're using that in the fanboy stuff, but realistically, they're not really wrong. They're not really wrong.
And I know they're not really buying PCs either, though. Not those guys. Those guys that say that are not buying PCs.
Knox. That's why I told you about the comment section, okay? That's why I've been telling you. You don't need to listen to it. It's not true. But what I'm saying to you is, but they can. And my point is that Xbox is okay with that. I know a lot of people. Okay, the Lockhart is rumored to be 4+ terabytes, which is actually, or teraflops, which is weaker than the X that we most currently have. And then they've got the Anaconda that's 12+ teraflops, which is way stronger, double what we have.
Sounds amazing.
So, right, exactly. So, but my point being is, I know a lot of people that are saying, okay, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep my Xbox One X, and if Game Pass goes over to PlayStation, I'll buy a PS5. I already have a Switch, and I'll keep my X because the X isn't right.
And it's true, because if I could play God of War, if I could play the next God of War on my PS6 or my PS5, right, and Gears, what the hell do I need an Xbox for?
Because you're streaming Gears to the system. You're not playing natively, man.
But check this out, though. I see.
How do you know that? Game Pass's whole niche, Xbox. I'm sorry, Mega, but Game Pass's whole niche is that it's not streaming. You download.
That is on the Xbox platform, though.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
I'm trying to tell you, Knox. I'm trying to tell you, man.
On a mobile device, yes, but on hardware,
dude. Like, even on the Switch, they said via xCloud.
Okay, but on PC too, and on PlayStation 5, if they want to do that, they're not going to do that on
PC.
PC
is Xbox. Xbox is PC.
Exactly.
It's not PlayStation is Xbox. Xbox is PlayStation.
If they guarantee you, Xbox, if they put Game Pass on PlayStation,
now you're stretching.
You're going to download it.
Now you're stretching, brother.
Listen. That's the reason why I say that Xbox would be so lucky to have Sony accept Xbox coming.
It'll never happen. You're right.
Because this is the thing right here, is that Okay, my main man Noof, right? He's saying, well, it looks like I'm going to go ahead and get to the PlayStation. You know what you're going to do, Noof? Just like everybody else is talking that bullshit. Is that if Game Pass does go to Xbox, you're going to be playing some Xbox games. You're still going to give Xbox money, unless you're going to be stubborn and then you're going to deny yourself good quality games because you're trying to prove a point. It's not going to work. At the end of the day, Xbox is trying to destroy the whole narrative about the whole thing about the whole console war and about what's that shit called where everybody is, the separation of consoles each iteration, each 5, 6, 7 years or whatever generation. They're trying to kill it. They're trying to make the Xbox more like the PC because it's much more sustainable and controllable. They can have all different types. So what they're going to do is going to throw all different types of hardware at you. And then gamers are going to make a choice of what they want to do. And then they're going to interwove themselves as far as they can. And PlayStation is not going to have it. If they do, it is over for PlayStation now. And they spent billions.
And they're not going to do that. They're just not going to do it, bro.
Foolish for PlayStation to do that.
Sony, listen, these guys all know what they're planning to do. There's very few things, okay, where somebody's like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming. Right? They all know what's going on. There's a reason that Microsoft is going to talk about the hardware a year and a half before it launches. It's because they already know what Sony's planning to do. There's rumors that the PS5 is coming out in March. Okay? Not this year, of course, March 2020.
Which you gave me a great segue there, too.
Right? But I mean, and again, all rumors, guys. So please don't write it down. Take a picture. Okay? It's rumors, right? We're here. We're doing a talk show.
Right.
But my whole thing is like, I think that Microsoft knows what's going on at Sony. There's a reason they're preemptively showing their goods. Mm-hmm. Normally, they would both show their goods the year that they come out.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do it this soon. These are preemptive strikes by both companies. Sony definitely has something up their sleeve, I believe, too. I think that they're going to come out with something that's going to be a wow factor. I'll tell you, certainly the one thing they're coming out with, whether you believe it's the rest of 2019 or 2020, is they're going to have some stellar games. Ghost of Tsushima is amazing. Last of Us 2 is probably my most anticipated game left to come out this generation. If they come out March 2020 with PS5, I got news for you. I will have a PS5 Last of Us edition, collector's edition. My thing is that's not no fanboy stuff. I love The Last of Us. I think that Sony's got a couple things up their sleeve. They're, like you said yourself, Xbox. They're planning to revamp their PS Now. Yep. What that means, I mean, I say
working
as a joke to make it work, but
as well.
They're going to be doing things. They're going to be doing things to get their games out there on multiple services as well. But Microsoft's going the very, very direct route. And I got news for you. It was a very bold move. It was a very bold move. But Microsoft teaming up with Nintendo is business wise an outstanding move.
It's genius.
It is, because if Sony did it, if Sony linked up with Nintendo, oh my god, can you imagine all the
it would be like game over Xbox.
Xbox died yesterday.
Right.
Of course, stick a fork in them.
Right. So I mean, this was a great preemptive move by Phil. Again, I don't think that we're going to see much come back for Xbox fans as far as IP from Nintendo on ours, unless they do the game. If they do the Game Pass thing, that's a win-win for everybody. But if they don't, I really think it's Microsoft's just happy to be making that buco bucks off of another 35 million customers they didn't have before.
Here's the deal, and I think we can kind of like end this and move on to kind of like what's going on at E3.
3 days
right?
of this. Yeah.
All right, but I feel like when it comes to Game Pass, when it comes to streaming via xCloud, put it on as many devices as possible. I am going to be playing my games natively on my console. Everybody else is going to be playing I hate to say inferior, but a less than version when it comes down to the whole streaming thing. And I believe these companies want to go streaming is the future, and eventually that's where they want to go. But
it's not 4K. You're right, Bot. It's not 4K. That's the thing. This whole narrative of what fanboys is,
they got to get that 5G all the way throughout like the world before they really think about streaming as a whole, and that's it.
Right. And I'm going to make my last point, and then we can go on to whatever we want to talk about. But I just want to say this point: for people to keep on believing this foolish notion that Xbox has lost their exclusivity because they put it on a different platform or a different console, whatever. all you have to do is just think about every time that you go to somewhere, or this is like Xbox owns that property. Microsoft owns that property. They're still generating the money. So if you still keep saying that Xbox has lost their exclusivity, then you would be sadly mistaken, because when they keep on bringing out this money and show what they make every quarter, it's not going to reflect to what your negativity.
Games natively. If games natively run on PlayStation, Switch, and stuff like that, to me, they lost exclusivity on those titles.
No, they don't lose exclusivity. They lose its relevancy.
It's still under their umbrella. It's still owned by Microsoft. In order for you to lose anything out of your property, is that you're not getting any money from it,
brother. I got to pay the bills.
Yeah.
The Sunshine, Mr. Sunshine of Xbox Live himself, Brian Baker. Thank you for the support, brother. He says, I ain't streaming shit. He's like, make Play Anywhere better is all he needs. All right. And I know that, man, because you go between PC and console back and forth. But guys, talking about this, man, another rumor came out at E3 that the Lockhart and the Anaconda will actually be unveiled on the E3 stage coming up this year, 2019. Not only that, they tried to leak out the specs, and I'll tell you real quick. Lockhart 8-core 16 thread Zen CPU, same thing on the Anaconda side. When it comes to the GPU, the Lockhart, which is the lesser powered of the two, less powerful, they're talking about a Navi custom Navi GPU that goes 4+ T flops, while with the Anaconda custom Navi as well, 12+ T flops. When you're looking at RAM, 12 gigabytes of DDR6 for the Lockhart, 16 gigabytes of GDDR6 memory for the Anaconda, and they're trying to say both of them with a solid state drive. That right there tells me that leak might not be true, because I don't think the Lockhart is going to have a solid state hard drive.
Xbot, real quick, not to interrupt you, but Mikey Barra just tweeted out something that was quite interesting. I just posted it in the next podcast DM, so I'll let you take a look at it so you guys can see. Mm-hmm. That came out 3 minutes ago. Mikey Barra, just for everybody in the audience, tweeted out what the definition of rumor is, and only that.
Right, let me check here.
I think that listen, a lot of people are looking into it right now on Twitter and saying, wow, so this whole Nintendo thing is just a rumor. So
3 days of bullshit for what?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's great talk, but you never know until they actually come out and say what it is, So
it's a census too, bro.
You think he might be listening to the next podcast?
Yeah, might be. E3. I mean,
E3. Hit me up, man.
Man.
E3 is a long way away. You could take this small little nugget of a rumor. This thing could turn into quite the snowball. This thing rolling down the hill for another 4 months. Holy shit. By the time we get to June, it'll be like, oh my God, Phil's the new president of Nintendo. Who would have known? Like I say, it's fun to talk about. It's fun to speculate. Mm-hmm. But to say all, end all, everything right away, it's something, and it seems like, who knows what Mike's talking about? Maybe the rumor is just that Anthem's not getting that update tomorrow. Who knows? That's
I love how vague he makes it, instead of just like kind of like putting the nail in the coffin. If that's what he's kind of like trying to do, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, but no, we'll just keep it vague. But Mooch, when it comes to E3. Unveiling Lockhart and Anaconda, I want to know what you think about that. In my personal opinion, I feel like we're gonna see kind of like games being run on probably the specs of the new hardware or whatnot. I'm finally leaning towards they're not gonna unveil the actual look of these things and stuff until like early 2020. But what do you think, bro?
So wait, you're saying you don't believe the E3 rumor is true, where they're gonna reveal their hardware?
No, I think they're gonna play. I think they're gonna have play. They're gonna have games kind of like played on it in terms of to the specs and stuff like that, and let people know that this is what's going on. But I think they're gonna hold. I personally now I feel like they're gonna hold the unveiling until like early 2020 and get it ready. For the months down the line leading up to leading up to the holidays. But
I don't know. I mean, like that's a tough thing to speculate on because we just said it a second ago, Xbot. You've got everything in our history, everything we've ever known is they've had their own event, you know, for a reveal of a console.
Well,
and now all of a sudden,
now pretty much their own. So
it is.
This year.
Here's the thing. I got to answer your question with kind of a question. It's not that easy of a yes or a no, Xbot, because if the rumor is true, again, rumor. If the rumor is true that Sony is going to release the PS5 in March of 2020, then yes, I believe you're going to get the full boat release at E3. If Sony's also coming out with the PS5 in November of 2020, then I would think that maybe they would do something similar to how they proposed the X to everybody. They'll come out there, they'll say how powerful it's going to be. They're going to tell everybody that they have 2 SKUs. But realistically speaking, I don't see why. This is the one thing that didn't hold water for me. Why are they going to come out a year and a half and say the price, the power, describe it to the nines, and then make everybody sit on their hands for 18 months? I don't understand that move. I just don't, unless they're going to release early as well.
Do you think they could possibly show the Lockhart at E3 and say that there's a more powerful version, and then maybe show that one later on?
It's possible because, I mean, the way the Lockhart's being described right now, it's going to be a 1080p 60 frame machine. So could they? Yeah, there's also rumored to be the Maverick that's coming out sometime earlier this year. That's going to be an Xbox One S without a disc tray. So, or a disc.
I hope they drop that,
right?
man, to be really honest with you.
There's just everything keeps coming out saying that it's on the way. It's on the way. Take that with a grain of salt. So I don't think they're going to separate the two, to be honest with you. I think the Lockhart, much like how Apple does their presentations and now Samsung does their presentations, is you want to show your scale of devices all on the stage so everybody knows that there's a lower priced item you can still play and move forward, and there's a higher priced item that you can have if you want all the bells and whistles moving forward. So the question is the rumor true that they're going to show all this at E3? That's the question. And to be honest with you, again, I have to answer it in 2 parts. If Sony's PlayStation 5 comes out in March, I think the rumors are true.
Yeah.
I think if this is all a farce and Sony's PS5 is coming out holiday of 2020 like normal, then I don't think Microsoft unloads their big guns because they don't have to. They can do their unveiling in May of next year.
Dude, that is a lot of common sense right there, man. I love where you're going with that because, you know, at the end of the day, these companies have a better idea of what's going on across the picket fence than we know, you know, within the industry in general. So they, you know, Xbox would know a rough estimate of when, you know, the next PlayStation is dropping, and they will kind of put their pawns, their knights, and their rooks in the right positions to do what they got to do in that area. I can see where you're coming from. Yo, Predator, what do you think, bro?
I'm looking right now. I'm looking at
first off, I think the Lockhart, I think they're that leak right there, I think they are underselling it. I think it's going to be more powerful than that. I think it's going to be around like the Xbox One X, maybe a little more powerful than the Xbox One X. But that's my opinion on the whole specs thing. That's why I'm looking at this and I'm like, yeah, I'm not so sure like how credible this entire leak is. But a lot of people are like running with this thing, man.
How you gonna ask me a question and talk over me? This is my opinion. I'm looking at GDC, and me and Mooch were talking about this earlier. With who is it? Google. One of those guys are announcing their console at GDC this year.
Possibly.
I mean, I've seen enough to think that they are. Okay. So I think if that happens, then I think they at least discuss the future consoles at E3 and maybe even come out with the lower of the versions at E3, show it at E3, and all the other crap they plan on doing with, you know, if they plan on doing something with Nintendo, et cetera, et cetera. I think all that happens at E3. I think the big one, the one we're looking forward to, the Anaconda, will be talked about, like how they kind of did like E3 a couple of years ago when they're talking about the Scorpio. Just kind of do like a little quick video. I think it will come out the same way how they did the S and then they talked about the X at the end of the show. I think they come out with the Lockhart and they announced the Anaconda at the same time. And that way
But
they
are
can
they going to
cover.
drop the same at the same
No,
time?
no. I think they'll do a staggered launch, just like GPU developers, like fucking GeForce does. They come out with a 1060 and they come with a 1060 Ti 6 months down the road. So I think they'll do something like that. They'll do what they did kind of like at E3 a couple of years ago, announce the S, and then talk about the how they talked about the X at the end of the show. I think they'll drop the Lockhart and probably talk about the Anaconda near the end of the show, and maybe have another event at the end of the year where they kind of discuss it a little further, or at least the Lockhart version of it anyway, a little further. But I could see them discussing it this year easily. I can see them talking about it this year to kind of, feed us a little bit of something, because we've heard enough about this so far to know that they're things. So I think they at least discuss it at E3. Whether they release it or not, I really seriously doubt that's going to happen especially with the Anaconda. I don't see that happening this year. I think they'll probably try and align that with whatever PlayStation is doing.
See, I don't know if it's just the gamer in me. I will let you know that they are not getting my money until the Anaconda drops. That is the console that I do want. If it comes down to it, they have different SKUs. I want the more powerful one. I think that they're going to release them side by side, but that's just my opinion. But definitely interesting thoughts there, Pred. Yo, Knox, man, what do you think, man? Are they going to show these suckers at E3 on stage for everybody to see?
Well, look, I mean, first off,
nobody's just coming out with a definitive answer.
Everybody, you guys hear me good, right?
Yeah, we got you, bro.
All right. Well, it's like 9:02. But I do gotta book it after this. I'm gonna drop this, but I'm gonna do we're doing my wife's birthday.
Yeah, no doubt, brother. We're about. This is the last topic anyway.
No, yeah. But do I think? I mean, look, they could announce the Sandra Bernhardt, the freaking the Ice Cube snake, whatever they want. I mean, I don't see how it is a good strategy for them come this E3 when they got the floor to themselves. They could mention it real quick, I guess. You know what I mean? But if you're gonna announce a weaker system, right? What is it? The Lockhart, right? That's what it's called. That's supposedly the weaker one, right? If you're announce the more powerful one and keep it vague, to me, it makes no sense. So either come out and go balls to the wall with the
They just
Anaconda.
did that though, Knox, didn't
they? Did they?
With the S and the X launch.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But at least they announced. My thing is, you announce the more powerful one first. Put that one to the forefront. Say, this is the Anaconda. Got bang, 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 bang. And for those of you who may be looking into getting into our ecosystem and you want to begin a platform, we got boom. You don't do it the other way around. You don't come with the Lockhart first, which is the weaker variant, right? And then go, oh, but we got a better one. It's called Anaconda. See you tomorrow. No. I think and plus at this E3 that they got the floor to themselves, I think they just need to make themselves shine. How they're gonna do it, with whatever upcoming projects they may have or whatever. That I think that's what should, take precedence at E3 this year for them, as opposed to new hardware. People still want to see what you can do with the hardware we currently have now, known as the X. You know what I mean? For instance, why was there a digital foundry? And now I'm going to say this with a grain of salt because we all know with the tea and crumpets how it goes. But why was the PS4 Pro version running somewhat better than the X version?
In what game?
In Anthem. Now I have
that was the earlier version.
Yeah,
that was the earlier version.
Yeah.
It was the so we got to see now. We got to see post patch and post launch how it is. It looks great to me. Don't get me wrong. On my X, that shit looks phenomenal. I'm loving it. HDR is back in. Shit looks fantastic. But just that came up, because you know how I feel about the hate. You know, the industry looks for nothing more than to nitpick on some old bullshit. And because this game has a tie to Microsoft and to Xbox, they're gonna shit on it like they do, because that's what they do. You know, but still, I say, hey, why? I want to see what my X can do. Put that shit out in E3. Show me some hot shit coming for the X, some hot shit coming out for the future with our new with the new parties that they hired, the new studios that they hired, shit like that. Hardware, unless it's going to be relevant early next year, doesn't need to be in the forefront.
See, I think all the games that they show on the stage are going to be running on newer hardware, at least the specs of it, like on a computer or whatnot. So you're going to see some crazy shit at E3 coming up. But all right, brother. You say you gotta take off. I understand, man. You got a job to do. Go and make that money, bro. And
no, I'm not working. It's my wife's birthday. Family
Mrs. Knox, happy birthday, Lady Knox herself.
Happy birthday, Miss Knox.
Yes. I will let her know, gentlemen. It was good, man. Yo, it was a great show. Love doing this shit with you guys, man. You already know, bro.
Always,
Nice, bro.
Always, fam.
All
Nice,
of
brother.
y'all, man.
Later.
Mooch, Pred, Mega, Bot.
Hey,
Got y'all.
bruh.
Yo.
Bet not get away from the night unless you have some morning, some evening or some morning delight. You better have that pants off jumping off, man. You better have it. If you don't, I'm gonna clown you. You better give us some of that penis demon. Go ahead, all right, bro.
This just went to the after hours.
Yeah, it does that every once in a while, Mooch.
Good old Knoxximus always represents, but you know I keep that shit. That's my private shit.
I don't know, man. I be always clowning my boy 108. He out there from New York, out there in Brooklyn and shit like that. I'll be like, I don't know what you do to hold it down like us country boys out here in Oklahoma, but man,
I don't know, baby. I'm from the boogie down, baby. You know, that's how we do it.
Much love.
Gentlemen, yo, y'all have a good night, man. It was
Yo,
great.
be easy, Knox.
All right, brother. All right,
Peace.
Mega.
Yes.
Mega, I want to hear your opinions on
I
this.
give two shits about this rumor. I don't care. Show me what's going on. Somebody said, "Happy birthday, Miss Mega." No. My birthday ain't until November.
Whoa, Miss Mega hanging out with Knoxximus.
Yeah. Oh well, you know what? Hey, I told you the Oklahoma boys be doing their thing. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, no disrespect. No, happy birthday to Miss Knox. But no, for me, I don't really care. I give two shits about it. Just show me what's going to be there. You know, hopefully I'm going to be there. God willing, I'm going to be at E3, and I'm going to be there to see it live if they do present it. I don't believe these numbers because I mean.
There's holes in this whole thing, man.
There's holes everywhere. And remember what they did with the X when they talked about Digital Foundry did all this. See, this is the problem with all this 24-hour gaming news. You know what I'm saying? Is that everybody gets all these speculations, and then when they're proven wrong,
It's not K-Mega. It's not. I've been saying this for a long time now. It's not gaming news. It's 24-hour gaming opinion and rumor.
Yes, sir.
And that's why when I advertise Crossfire, I said all the time, tune in for gaming news and rumors, because let's be honest, everything about 10 years ago went to a 365, 24/7. Okay. News. When we were all kids, Kay, and I'm gonna take everybody back real quick.
Let's go.
When we were kids, the news was from 6:30 to 7. That's it. 6:30 to 7.
Yes.
And you know what it was after that? Living your lives. That's what it was. Okay?
What's that about, Mooch?
Now you've got right, exactly. Now you've got look at. I don't care if you're talking about politics, games, this, that. I don't care if you're a car junkie, whatever you like. It's 24/7, 365. So you can't tell me there's no news in the world. You can't have that much news. That means news needs to be coming out every minute, and it ain't happening. So if it's not news, it's rumor. And the other thing is opinion. Okay, journalism died a long time ago. Now you just have opinion pieces. I used to read Game Informer. Heck, go back to Nintendo Power when you used to actually get a lot of the actual good, in-depth reviews with the developers.
Fact.
Now you got a bunch of guys that don't know their ass from their elbow at IGN telling you what they think is good and what isn't good. And realistically, that's why YouTubers are on the rise. and the gaming media is on the decline.
Hey, man, Don, my brother Don would be here, right here, saluting that point because he's been preaching that
Yes,
for
he
a
has.
very long time.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that about this that I don't care. We didn't talk about it on GRG. There ain't no point to talk about it. Look, I still get amazed at what I see the X producing.
Oh hell yeah, bro!
I'm sure that PlayStation fans get astounded by what the PlayStation Pro produces graphically. So right now, why don't we just enjoy what the games that we have, what these consoles can do right now? Because there's still plenty of juice left within them. Mm-hmm. And then when we find out about Lockhart, about Anaconda, and about PlayStation 5, then we can go ahead. And then even if Nintendo decides to bring another version of the Switch, let's all be excited then. Right now, let's just enjoy the games. Look, who would ever thought Metro look as good as it does coming off hardware when it's almost about to be the next generation? So that's the thing to me. It's just like, look, man, pump your brakes, relax, play the games, do what you got to do, and then just embrace the moment and when the time comes.
We're in a good position right now. Anybody who's a true gamer has got to say you're in a good position. Even the fact that we're going into next generation, you know what's great about it? Mm-hmm. We're not going to have that lull of no games and just getting other games remastered like we had to go through this generation, or the slow because with the x86 architecture and PS4 being able to play some of the other games, and the Xbox One X and the Xbox Lockhart and the Anaconda all being able to play the same games, hear me out. You will not be bored. So we've got, like Kay just said, we've got so many games. We got so much. Listen to everybody right now. I still got to finish. I got about another 3 hours probably left to Crackdown. I got to finish Crackdown. I got to play Anthem, right? I just got shout out to my boy Anthony Boyd, who I'm going to give a massive shout out tomorrow on MNC. Got me the Division 2. Listen, there's so many. And then I got my boy Sim Vendetta hooked me up with Sekiro. And let me tell you something. If you don't think I'm putting everything down to play Sekiro, you got another thing coming, because that's my game of March. But my thing is this. We have so many great games to play, people. Like Kay just said, we should be enjoying this time, because this is when we talked about the gravy days of 2007, you're living it right now, folks. There's so much right now, you don't even know what to put down and pick back up again. That's how much there is. So it's a blessing. We got all this, the generations to come in gaming and consoles that they said were going to be dead at the beginning of this generation are thriving. So, man, we are all in a very good place right now. And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, you're absolutely blessed right now as gamers. And the thing of it is that we're bickering about sales numbers and who's on top and things of that nature, when all of these companies are making massive money. If I can get at least 1-2% of whatever all these three companies are doing, I'm good.
Give me that.
Yeah, so let me get some of that action. The fact of it is that when you talk about the Anaconda is going to be 12 teraflops, and that's going to be $700. Remember when they did the same thing with the X? There's no way that system's going to be. There's no way they're going to be pushing games in 4K 30. That's asinine. We're talking about a $700 console, and what was it? It was $500. And Xbox did some slick shit and did some custom shit with the Jaguar. You know what I'm saying? So whatever Xbox is going to do with the Anaconda, I'm sure that it's going to be a beast. I'm sure PlayStation is going to be comparable to it. We know that it's going to be more powerful than the X. They definitely going to make that happen. But if they want to keep affordability, then try to hit that $400 range, because I think that a lot of people from the PlayStation camp, if it's $500, a lot of people is going to stay with the PlayStation 4 until there's a price drop. That's just my opinion. I could be completely wrong, because I'm just going by just what I've seen this generation with so many people, my friends, other gamers out there. When the Xbox One first came out and it was $500, people was like, I'll wait till
Well, dude, that was, first off, that was 2013, and not only that, the people looked at the camera and said that, well, that's the extra $100 right there. We don't want that.
Care about
there
money,
was more. There was more to it than that, brother.
No, hold on. I still care about that. Go ahead.
Hold on. Sir X-Man in the chat. Brother, I saw your super chats a couple times, man, talking about Xbox has more MLG games than PlayStation facts. And trust me, I've seen that. Thank you so much for your support, brother. He says right here, people should be happy. 20-something years ago, games almost died. If it wasn't for us older gamers that kept playing, there would be no games today. Another straight facts. But guys, since we're living in,
give your support. Hey, pay your homage to the root gamer, to me, to Mooch.
He said to me. He was like, to me.
Yeah, I'm a root gamer. I've been playing this shit before there was a console.
Play emulators now, man. Be quiet.
I play it all, bro.
But yo, guys, since we're living in such a golden age right now, there's so many games out. Why don't we just wind this down and go to our Xboxes and actually play some? What do you guys think about that?
Yes,
I'm with it. Let's do it.
All right. Well, Mooch, we had major technical difficulties, but brother, we got the show through. You came in, you lit a fire on this show tonight. Thank you for being our special guest, man. It is always good to talk games with you. Why don't you let people know what is going on with MNC and anything else you are up to, brother?
I appreciate that. And I'll tell you something, K-Mega will appreciate this. I think me and him talked about this on an episode we were on before, is we both like that movie. I believe it was called Crimson Tide. Okay. Oh, yeah. You operate the best when you're at the most technical, like, downtime, right? So when we had a technical issue, you know what we did? We fight through it. We're professionals. We get through the show, right? The show must go on. That's what me and Crap always say. The show must go on. So let me tell you something. It was an honor to be here. Great to be on the next podcast. Great to share the panel with these fine gentlemen that are on the show. And I'll be honest with you, we do have an outstanding MNC show. Just got a great email from Gadang. We've got some great voicemails. We got giveaways. So much going on. And let me tell you something. The topics are hot. You know, you're going to get dynamic conversation going back and forth tomorrow. And we had an outstanding crossfire. So please do go check out the Mooch78. That's my channel. We had an unbelievable crossfire last night. I'm still getting people writing me saying it was probably the best crossfire I've done in ages. It was that lit. So everybody, please do enjoy. Thank you to everybody. Outstanding to share the stage with K-Mega, Pred, Knox, and of course, the one and only Xbot448. Thank you for having me, buddy. I appreciate it.
No doubt, brother. Anytime. Yo, Predator, man. Yo. What are you doing tonight? Are you playing that Anthem?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump on Anthem later on tonight. I deal with the misses and do the pants off dance off. And then
you just made K-Mega so proud right there, man.
Let them know that this still works, baby.
Yeah, man. That's how West Texas boys do.
Shit.
Yeah, I'll be on Anthem tonight. Of course, so.
Anyway, go.
Wow, we are off the rails. Usually this happens at the beginning of the show. We just saved it all for the end. But yo, Predator, why don't you let people know where they can get a hold of you, and if you are making any 6-man into the starting spot guest appearances throughout this week coming, man.
Predator_H2S on everything except for Switch. Just look on my MySpace account and you'll see whatever my Switch code is.
I made
there.
One because of you. I made a MySpace. You did not. Yes, I did, brother. I will share the link with you. Okay.
I'll be on Anthem tonight, so if anybody wants to hop in, if we got room, I'll play with you. So hit me up on Xbox Live tonight, and PC, of course. I'll be playing Anthem there probably tomorrow morning.
Nice, brother. And yeah, Predator is definitely somebody you want to have on your squad, man. A great teammate will help you get through. Trust, it can happen. But Mega, what is going on with you tonight? And let people know where they can get a hold of you and what's going on with your channel as well. Man, you know the deal.
No doubt, man. Me and Bob been doing this since, man, we were infants, seem like. But the fact of it is, man, we're here, we're doing it. And I just got to say this, man. If you know, it was snowing out there in California. Don't worry, everybody. It was just K-Mega putting in that work. You know what I'm saying? Getting that morning delight. And so, therefore, you know what I'm saying? Miss Mega was very pleased. All I got to just say with this, all of now that, I'm sorry, Texas.
I don't know what he's trying to say there. Like, was that really snow or?
Snowball fights? What's going on out there?
Anyway,
no angels.
Turning the axis of the world, of the planet, because the big man still got the skills. All I'm saying is this, man, man, thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight, man. This was probably the biggest show that we've ever done at Next Podcast. congratulations to my boy X by 448, man. You know what I'm saying? My main man Mooch, you know what I'm saying? Love to hear his take on a whole bunch of shit, man. And Mooch is still Mooch, man. It's still fun as hell. And you know what I'm saying? And then Ashy as Pred, you know what I'm saying? He held it down. So much love to my man. Hopefully somebody's gonna hit me up so I can play some Anthem tonight. If not, then you know what I'm saying, I'll do it solo. It just don't make no difference. But you can check me out on my channel at KMega405. Come check it out. Check out the GRG podcast from what we did last night. Yeah, the presentation is back. And man, we had a great time. I had a drunken rant, and you know when I hit the liquor start flowing, man, I'll just say any goddamn thing. So it's all good, man. So I hope everybody have a good night. And man, thanks. Wait till next week.
Nice. And everybody in the chat, you are the hardcore supporters right now. So I have a very special announcement when it comes to this show and this channel. As of tonight, this channel, this show is officially affiliated with Tick Gaming Network, guys. Nice. Tick Podcast. Nice. All those guys over there. Shout out to my brother Nikolai. We've been talking for a couple weeks now. And it is official, guys. We are a part of the Tick Gaming Network. I saved it till the end. We had technical problems. I was going to say it in the beginning, but I was like, you know what? It's fitting to save it to the end. All the hardcore people that are in all the way through the outros until the show goes offline, you guys deserve to hear it first. Thank you guys so much for your support. There's going to be a lot more things coming to this channel down the road. So if you haven't subscribed yet, definitely subscribe. But as for now, guys, this is Saturday night, man. Gamers got a game. We got to get those controllers in our hands. So we will check you out next Saturday for the next podcast. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Later.
Peace. Peace. Penis demon.